Hey, cool cats. I really resonated and really got down on the transpersonal drama therapy. It really spoke to, it was able to facilitate something for me that needed facilitating, I suppose. I really fell in love with this idea, or maybe had the eureka moment of the this connection, or I guess disconnection, between this your essential self, which is the part of you that knows that you will survive and you will keep going, versus your limited self. So your projected self, your motivations maybe, and how we portray and like play this role of identity, which I was kind of like, ah. And then looking at this in future work, I see a lot of applicability in with this kind of in the idea of creating a fluidity between the limited and the essential self, and personifying aspects and attributes of your history and of your narrative, giving them life, giving them tactile, like a tactile characteristic. I know that it's used. This kind of idea is used in recovery therapy, where you take your addiction or your trauma and you create a character around it. So addiction is Charlie Sheen, like, shut your face, Charlie Sheen, like, I will not drink that bottle of wine. Or nurturing the child that was abandoned and neglected and abused, or, like being that supportive figure for yourself, or this part of yourself that you didn't receive. Kind of helping you to facilitate this subjectivity that is really hard. How do you create subjectivity around the self? I think it's very counterintuitive. So I see a lot of possibility with that. And on a cross-cultural level, I think looking at kind of the archetypal work, there's a lot of dialogue, because archetypes are cultural specific. And I think if you kind of create these bridges between a villain or victim in one culture versus a villain and a victim in another culture, or certain stereotypes and stigmas that exist in one culture but not in the other, how that dialogue can be dramatized and personalized, and you can create a narrative between the oppositions, which I find and foresee being really a powerful tool, where you don't have to take it personal. You can portray something, and I really like that idea. For me, the experiential and what I'm taking away from it was just this idea of through tapping in and finding this inner helper, I felt this kind of break in the filtration process and the holding back of wanting to drop in, not for someone else but for myself. And I was able to finally drop in a way that felt very safe and very held, and that was really powerful for me. I've at one point, I think I had like an out of body experience, and I think I'm just now seeing the beginning of what it feels like to really begin to understand my condition and my sense of autonomy in the interconnected web that is where we are right now. And so it was a really powerful personal experience that I'm taking away a lot from. But yeah, all around, feeling it. Hope y'all are doing well, and thank you, and I send my blessings.